Let's be honest, editing interviews for social media is basically its own weird little art form. When I first started doing this, I was just winging it, hoping something would stick. I remember helping a creator chop up a podcast into clips, and honestly, I had no clue what I was doing. But that experience forced me to get the reps in, and those reps eventually turned into a solid process. Now, I use that same workflow editing interviews for a local coffee shop, turning hour-long talks into 90-second clips. Today, I want to walk you through how I approach that step by step and how some modern tools make it way less painful. First, it is all about your mindset before you even open your editing software. I always put on my audience hat to figure out who I am actually talking to. Ask yourself what they care about and what kind of jokes actually land with them. Your audience mindset shapes every single cut I make, from sound bites to the specific B-roll I choose. Second, you have to clarify your goals because this changes everything about your final cut. Are you trying to attract new customers, or are you trying to nurture your existing community? If the goal is reach, I will favor punchy, surprising moments that grab attention immediately. If the goal is conversion, I will keep the content informative and focused on building trust. Third, watch the entire raw interview without skimming so you don't miss those golden moments. I add markers wherever something lands with the audience, like a funny joke or a deep realization. These are tiny mental flags that tell me where a 15-second clip could be pulled from. Pro tip, mark emotionally clear beats like laughs or jaw-dropping metaphors because those are what people remember. I also mark the awkward pauses or tangents that definitely need to be cut out later. Sometimes you have to wear multiple hats, like when I had to record the interview myself because the owner was sick. Creatives who add value in weird ways are the ones that businesses really want to work with. Fourth, you have to trim the fat, which is brutal but completely necessary. Anything that doesn't push the story forward has to get the axe immediately. People on social media have 2-second attention spans, so your hook needs to be great. I tighten sentences and nix filler words so that every single cut earns its place. Fifth, add B-roll and cutaways to turn a static talking head into a story you actually want to watch. Leaving a static shot for too long is the biggest mistake you can make. Instead, overlay B-roll like hands tamping espresso or customers laughing to add texture. Editing is intuitive, so you eventually learn when a shot sits too long and when it needs spice. Music is the final piece, but it is also where most people screw up. Never just grab whatever is trending if the vibe of the song doesn't match the interview. Pick music that complements the story, like lo-fi for behind-the-scenes content. Music subliminally tells people how to feel about the subject, so use it carefully. Now, where does Vizard fit into all of this without feeling like a sales pitch? I use it because it plugs into my workflow and dramatically speeds up the tedious parts. When I do my initial pass, its AI suggests the high energy bits that historically do well. It surfaces the likely winners so you don't have to scrub for an hour just to find them. Scheduling is usually a headache, but the auto schedule feature is a total lifesaver for me. You just set your posting frequency and it queues them across platforms at optimal times. That's huge for small teams because you can focus on quality instead of being a calendar manager. The content calendar feature is a game changer for teams handling lots of clips. It removes the chaos that usually comes with managing multi-platform publishing. While other tools like Descript or CapCut have their place, they often lack this all-in-one automation. Premiere Pro gives you total control, but it is often overkill if you want to pump out repeatable clips. For me, Vizard hits the sweet spot between automation and maintaining my own creative control. You still make the creative calls, but you don't have to do the discovery by hand. My first tip is to still do the watch and mark step yourself, because your audience knowledge matters more. Second, keep a short-form first mindset, aiming for 15 to 45 seconds per clip. Third, use the content calendar to map out themes, like Monday behind-the-scenes content. Consistency helps grow an audience without burning out your team in the process. One more thing, remember that context sells, so add captions if people watch without sound. I find that small text overlays explaining who is talking always boost retention. So that is my process. Get into the audience mindset and be clear on your goals. Watch the footage, trim it ruthlessly, add B-roll, and choose music that actually fits. Use tools like Vizard to take the busy work off your plate and keep everything organized. Those automations are what let you be the person who keeps the content machine running. Hopefully you picked up something useful that you can apply to your own edits today. Even if you do not do this full-time, the principles of keeping it tight and letting AI do the heavy lifting apply everywhere. Thanks for sticking around, and I will catch you in the next one.